Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Biter. In case any of you may or may not know me, I do a lot of custom builds for bases, traps, and such on Sergeant Soldier's site on YouTube. So a lot of people had requested to see how some of these builds come to be, and so that's what I'm going to do. So I am going to go ahead and stream my newest build. This build will take several hours to do. I'm going to redo what I've already done, so I'm going to go step by step on how I did it, how it's built. But for this intro, I am basically just going to share with everybody what it looks like, what it can do, and I hope you enjoy it. So anyway, I will commentary through this, and let's take a look at the new base. So I am on my own private server at this point, so I do have admin rights, which does give me no clip, and which makes things a little bit simpler as far as showing you all the base. Let me go ahead and let's get this thing locked up a little bit here, and we'll go take a look on the outside. So as you can see from the outside, I did a little bit of few things different on one of these towers, just kind of testing stuff out. So everything is kind of a work in progress for me. But just to kind of give you a quick overview, this base has basically got two outer walls. You've got one inner wall that basically butts right up next to the base itself. We have a secondary outer wall that scopes these three sides of the base, which allows you to go ahead and throw down some large furnaces. On this side, I went ahead and played around with some large water catchers. But if you want, you can do six furnaces if you've got that much stuff to smelt. Um, this base is a triangle. I really like triangles. I feel like you get the most defense for the least amount of resources. We'll go ahead and take a top-down look of it so you can get an idea. And that is basically the shape that you end up with. Um, the top is a little bit different, and I'll show you how I did that. It is a very unusual way to do it. Um, but the base structure underneath is basically one big triangle. Three entries or two entries, one exit, one entry, two exits, however you want to look at it. Um, it does have these side towers to be able to get access down to the areas where you would have your furnaces, water catchers, and such. So anyway, let's go ahead and we'll do a walkthrough of this base. Now this base does have several new exploits that are out as far as building exploits go. So this base currently can be built, but if you watch this video in 2 months and it's been patched 3 times, probably will be patched. So just I will show you what they are as we walk through. So you basically have double doors here. Okay, you want to stack the doors as close as you can to each other, of course. And when you first come into the entryway, you're presented with this. So this is your entry in, okay? And these two doors, I will show you them here shortly. These two doors are basically gunner doors. They're just there for you to be able to gun down somebody in here if they were to blast through the gate and you were trying to defend the base on a online raid, okay? Um, let's see, and looking at this, we're going to go into the entry here. All right, so the first thing you're going to notice when you come into this entryway here, let's get in because auto door is going to shut. All right, is we have some very unusual looking ladders here. Okay, this is a floating ladder exploit. Okay, was in Rust, it was patched, and it seems to be back again. All right, and how that works is you open a door, you stick a ladder on the door, and when the door closes, the ladder stays. Now, the cool thing about this is if somebody was to blast this door or blast this wall or even build outside of this door near this area, all these ladders will self-destruct. Okay, that is a really great feature for defense because the raider's going to be blasting or chipping through, or even if they pick through. If something gets changed, it will destroy this door. Now, you might be asking yourself, okay, well, that could be a real pain if you're building and you need these ladders here, okay? There is a workaround for that. So the first thing, if you got AutoDoor in your server, you're going to want to go ahead and shut off AutoDoor, all right? Next thing you do is you open the doors. As long as these doors are open, these ladders will not self-destruct. Okay, so if you're building the base, when you're building and you're going through, you'll see me as I do it. I will leave these doors all open. This way I can continue to build, tweak, fine tune, and everything until I get to this point. All right. Now these doors, you can't go through these doors. It's too tight, and as you can see, there's some really strange architecture going on here because this is kind of like three bases stacked inside of each other. So there's double wall system through this whole base. There's booby traps through this whole base. Um, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to close these doors because these are just there basically to put the ladder on or to hold the ladder as I am doing building. All right, so up the ladder we go. You go up to the corner, open the door, and hop in. All right, so the first thing you come into is this is your gangway, okay? So once you're up the shaft, you can go to here. I forgot to set auto door, right? There we go. All right. And you can climb up these ladders, by the way, with the doors open. It doesn't really matter, so it doesn't stop you. So just so you know. So the next thing I do is I come up here, I open this door, and boom, I'm in here. Now, all three sides of this base are essentially the same. Okay, so you've got three sides with the same features. When you come into one of the entryways, you get two ways to go. This way takes you to what I like to call just basically a loot room. Okay, so you come down here and you have a room here where you could put some shelves, tool chests, research center. You got three of these. So and they're fairly decent size. I mean, you can put a pretty good amount of loot in here, especially if you were to stack and go up high with like shelves or something. Okay. The triangles make it a little funky, but that was just kind of the way it worked out in order to have the double honeycomb, triple wall system to go through. So if we come back up here, there we go, and through the door, and we come back around this way. And this door takes us out to the rest of the base system. Okay, again, this door is just a dummy door. It's just there to distract raiders or to hold a ladder, basically, in this case. All right, so these structures here are the ones that are connected to the towers outside. So if I open this up, as you can see, this takes us out to the tower. Now see, I did some kind of crazy little thing here to kind of prevent raid tower jumping onto the tower. So anyway, just kind of playing around. So you have this gangplank here, right? And you're probably thinking, oh, okay, yeah, so if somebody gets in this tower over here, um, let me go ahead and let's no clip. And as you can see, yeah, okay. So could be a little bit, risky. Um, I did put these up here in order like to stop building and jump over onto the top of this. I have seen people do that. If we come down here and we come down into our area here, we open this door, jump in, and as you can see, we got ladders that go all the way up to the roof. These are all floating ladders also, by the way. So if they do anything at the bottom, if they take down one of these stone walls out here, it will self-destruct all those ladders. Okay, so I currently don't have no clip on, but just so you know, on this server, you can't get hurt. So if they come across here, now for me, if I'm coming across here, I'm going to do one of two things. Okay, I'm either going to go doomp and jump over this like that and call it good and go in, right? A raider, on the other hand, will probably just say, oh, well, this dummy made me a nice little bridge to walk across, right? Not so, okay? So this is booby trap 1, booby trap 2. As you can see here, we got bear traps, man. Yeah, they just came right through the floor. So if we come back up here, you can see on this wall, and I will show you real quick just how I managed to do that. So we come over here into traps, give ourselves 100. I really don't need that many, but oh well. Okay. All right. So landmines will actually place on the edge of a wall, just like this. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so then we come back around, we go here, boom, boom, and just leave it as twig. Um, if you look like, underneath, you can't really see them. There's some little tiny black lines. I guess if you knew what you were looking for, you would know. But anyhow, that takes us back into this room where we started, okay? If you also notice, since this destroyed that bridge out there, the ladders are all gone. So we just made things a lot more difficult for them if they're trying to come in here and raid. They can possibly come down here and go down, but down's really not going to do them any good because all the good stuff's up top. If they were to come down here and blast through, these are just basically gunner ports here. They serve a couple of purposes. One, if somebody was to try to jump down, so like they were to try to jump down and jump onto this, which let me show you that real quick. All right. Oop, don't trigger them again. Yeah, just so you guys know, these traps, I kill myself a lot of times on these traps. When I'm building these things, yeah. So expect to die several times. Bring lots of med kits. Make sure you have a sleeping bag down before you even start. It's going to happen. Trust me. I don't care how careful you are. This floor here, the idea was that if, let's say, they blast, they go across, they blast, the landmines are going to go off after they walk across, right? They're going to walk across this, and they're actually going to be in this position, like I was, and you can see where I fell. That's where their body's going to fall, on the other side of this stone wall. If they have some way to get back up here, to get to their body, let's say the first raider comes in with a ton of C4 and he falls down, he might be able to come up to this door or up top here or whatever he's done and jump onto this wall and jump down here, right? So that's where the secondary trap comes in. Two things. One, either he's going to try to do the jump, or he may think, I can jump onto this wall and then make it to this ledge. You can't. I've tried it several times. It cannot be done. You can't get to the wall to that ledge just because it has that half wall there. He's going to fall down onto here, right? And he might think, well, it's easier to blast through a window or something than to try and go through a door, right? So that might be a secondary thing. All right, so we're going to drop, as you heard. This is pretty nasty. It's pretty much insta-death for everybody that falls into this for several times. Okay? Yeah. So let me show you how that works. We're going to go through the floor, and we have floating bear traps. Now the cool thing about this is you can come down here and just simply click on them and arm them again. I'm not going to arm all these because it's going to take a while. There's a lot of them here that went off. There's several hundred under here. Anyhow, all right, so there you go. There you have it. Massive, crazy booby trap. We have the same design on all three sides. Um, One of the other cool features that I put into this was I put these windows here for a reason. If somebody was to come in, if you left your door open, you can actually open and close this main gate right here. If you can see, it's opening up down there just by clicking right here onto the door. Say open door. It's pretty cool. These are the gunner port doors that I was telling you about. So they give you a pretty decent view down in there. Uh-oh. All right. So I think we crashed the game. Sorry, guys. 1 second here. All right. So the Rust completely crashed on me there. Apparently, the door tried to push me through that small hole that you can't normally go through, and it made everything freeze, and the game crashed to the desktop. So, anyway, we're loading back up. Sorry about that, guys. Looks like a bug. I guess maybe that's some kind of an anti-cheat thing, probably to keep people from pushing through walls and stuff with doors. I know that's an exploit that people were using there for a while, so uh, bear with me as the world's longest loading game loads. All right, so okay, so we're back and we're alive and we're in a good place. All right, so going back through this door, this is of course the bottom, and that's right, we have no ladders on this side any longer. So let me first go ahead and rebind. No clip. All right, and we're going to go back up. So if you did have the ladders, you would be presented with going through a couple of different doors. This is a little walkway out here that you've seen that, is this. Um, there would be a ladder on this door, which would take you up to here. This is a dummy door. Um, you can't really get through it, but it might cause them to waste some C4. This door here takes you back into the section where we looked at where it goes two different ways from your entry. See, there's your entry port down here and your loot room, right? All right, and like I said, there's three of these. Okay, so if you come in out this way, and there would be a ladder for this one. You would come up here. This actually takes you onto the roof. So this is your roof access. Go ahead and walk again. Now, if you look down through here, you're going to see this is really weird because you can kind of see through this crack, right? I mean, isn't that weird? It doesn't line up right, huh? Yeah, you'll see why here. You actually have a hole here that goes all the way to the ground through the base, which is very odd. But I put these on here just to kind of cover that up. Um, Same situation here. Now you can put sandbags against this if you want, up to the door anyway. I had them there, I took them off. Didn't really see a point in it. But this is basically your roof access. And the only reason I kind of threw these things up there was mostly just to hide some of this, but so that like if a raider was out here and they built a tower up looking down, it wouldn't really give them a good idea of how this base is built. Um, it kind of hides the construction a little better. One side note is me personally, I mean, if I was going to do it from a defensive tactic, I would probably place a auto turret in here, just because it would be able, if somebody was trying to build up to get over, it could take them out on any of these three corners, or if they were to come through these doors to the roof access to get to the other side rather than trying to blast through 7 walls to do it, um, it could possibly take them out up here too. So anyhow, so I mean, I could go down each one of these. They're exactly the same. Like I said, this is the one we actually came in on. If we go down this one, as you can see, the ladders are still in this one because this is on the other side of the building. It only destroys the ladders generally on the side that, and see, this has the same booby traps here, same situation. So each one of these, you come down them. You could put signs like out here, 1, 2, and 3, just so you know because they're so identical. You might be like, oh crap, where do I get to this loot room, right? But you're coming in here, and you'd go around here to go into this loot room or sleeping quarters or whatever you want to do. You guys can be creative and build whatever you want in there. Um, and of course, this, just goes out, goes down, just like the other one. Goes all the way down to the floor, comes out, Caneway, 2 doors. So that's pretty much it, guys. You've seen it. The pretty much complete overview of this build. Um, it is a pretty tanky little build, only because when we get into seeing how this thing is actually built, you're really gonna be shocked. Um, this center, if you look, it's a center triangle. It's separated by just a small slice, right? So I mean that gives you 2 walls in a very, very tiny space. That's awesome, because in a normal raid, they have the same situation here. Not on this floor, but when you get down into the bottom 3 floors, these are solid. So, if they're coming in through the side, they're going to have to go through a triangle, right? So they're going to go 1 wall in the triangle, 2 walls. Oh crap, there's another wall. 3 walls, 4 walls, 5 walls. Crap, there's another one. 6 walls. And that, basically gets them into here. But if you look, this is only like 2 layers deep. 6 walls and 2 layers. That's great. Um, if you come into here, this is the cupboard tower. So this little tower here basically is covered. I would probably, I just did all this in stone, but this would probably be like a primary part that I would do in reinforced. It's a triangle, so it's not going to use as much resources as a square. But coming down through here, you've got one right here, and we go through that. And of course, you got one empty one. And then you got a second. And then you go down, and you got a third. And this is basically the floor. So, yeah, we're down to ground floor now here. So this one here is a ground level. Now, ground level, I'm going to kind of zip you through this wall here real quick. Ground level, as you can see, we coming through here. There's our divider, but all of a sudden we hit a roof. Yeah. So the roof is there as a extra layer of defense that they have to go through. And that's on this base floor here. And then we're going more honeycombing, and there's more roofs. These roofs are angled outward, so if they blast through this wall, this would be your outside wall. So we go through the outside stone wall. Let's see if I can show it good. Okay, we're clipped inside of the giant wall, stone wall here. So this would be your outside wall of the building, and this is what they're going to see when they blast it. Oh, crap, there's a roof. Couple more C4, they get through that. Okay, they got a wall. Couple more C4, okay. They get through that triangle. Which way are we going? All right, they go through this one. All right, that's good. All right, and we'll go through this one. All right, crap, there's another roof and a triangle. So as you can see, it's a hot mess in here, man. There's a lot of crap to go through just to get to this, and this is a double wall too. So I mean, they're gonna have to blast twice to get through this. So you can see right through this gap. We're looking at it right down to the ground. Beautiful part about that is if you were to hit this with rockets, this wall, this inner wall, because it's just slightly away, it's just away enough that it will receive no splash damage. So that means they're going to have to use more rockets. Now, if they go through on the second floor, because you can't put the roofs on the second floor, right? So I had to come up with a little bit more defensive tactic, right? So they're coming through on the second floor. Let's say they come to here, okay? And they get into this part where the traps are, right? And then they blast through, so they go through the honeycombing, they get into here, okay, we got more honeycombing, and we want, oh, look at that. Did you see that? So we've got more booby traps. I actually set these booby traps within the honeycombing in order to, now these are one-shot traps here, obviously. You're not going to be able to get down in here to reset these without no clip. I can do it because I got no clip. But for the normal person, yeah, that's going to be like a one-time deal. But in any case, nobody's going to really hit these on accident. If they hit these, they're already blasting holes in your walls anyway. So, um, but yeah, these are going to be like really hard to reload. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it because we're going to build a new one tomorrow anyway. So anyhow, so as you can see, I do this a lot in my honeycombing, only because nobody's going to walk through here. If they're going through here, they're up to no good anyway. Try to kill them as many times as you can. You kill them, they lose their C4, they lose their drive to continue on. That's the whole purpose. Nothing is totally unrateable. All you can do is just make it as difficult as possible. And that's what I try to strive to do with these builds. Is this the most easiest base to get around in? No. But I'll be honest with you, if your base is easy to get around in, it's going to be easy to raid too. You've got a really good defensive base when you get tired of having to do this and this and this just to get around. Okay, that's a really good sign that you've done well on making a base tough to raid, right? So anyhow, guys, so that's pretty much it. This is the build. This is what it looks like when it's done. I think it looks pretty cool. It's not ugly. Um, I try to make it as aesthetic as possible. Everybody wants their base to look cool, but you want it to be tough and defensive too. So, hey guys,